Hey, what's going on, guys? I got a solo car duplication glitch for you. Shout out to the founders, Celestial Gaming and Obese Giraffe. Now, there is a couple requirements for this. You do need a nightclub, and while the clips roll on right now, I'm going to show you a couple unsuccessful attempts, and then I'll get into exactly what you need to do. But you need to have a nightclub. I would recommend that you have all 4 garages. This did not work for me until I purchased the 4th garage, which I saw in a video earlier today. You also need to get a Martin job or any of those jobs on your phone set up. I would go ahead and recommend the Martin job. So go ahead and call Martin, request that job, make sure you have that job ready in your messages, and then you'll see inside Garage 3, which is the one that I'm using for this, I have, and you'll see in this next clip, where my character's head is, all the way in the first row, all the way to the right, I have a custom elegy, and then to the left of that, I have a free elegy. If you don't have elegies, you can go ahead and use some kind of supercar that you've purchased, that you haven't duped before, and put it in that first slot up on the right. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and get that Martin job, and I'm going to walk up to the door, and as soon as I'm starting to get up to the door where it would give me the options to select to leave or which garage I want to go to, I'm going to select the Martin job. I personally like to do it as I'm walking up. I like my character to be moving while I go ahead and do that. Now, what's going to happen is it's going to take you into the Martin job. You just immediately go ahead and hit the B button so it gets that message saying, are you sure you want to leave? Now, a tip that worked for me is I actually start to hit up on the control pad, and then I go ahead and hit the A button to accept to leave that Martin job. And then I keep spamming both of them. So for me, I hit A first, and I'll tap it a couple times, and then I'll go ahead and hit the A button to leave the job, and I'll keep spamming them. What you'll notice in that clip is you get 2 distinct tones. You get a dong, dong, and you get the tink, 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 tink. If you can hear the tink, tink, tink as you're spamming those buttons, then I'd say 90% of the time it's going to work out perfectly for you. So if that happens, you'll notice you spawn back in Garage 3 without a mini-map. All you need to do is go over to your service area where you can switch the cars around. And then if you saw in the clip, the first car that I switched around was on this first row closest to us, that elegy. I switched it from the custom elegy to the next spot where was the free elegy, and then I continued to go further because I was thinking maybe I can do multiple dupes in this, so I ended up switching another free custom elegy to a free elegy, and then another custom elegy to another free elegy inside the garage. But you'll see that that really doesn't matter. This glitch only allows you to dupe either this car in this first spot right here or only one of these cars. Now what'll happen is, I didn't show you, but the license plate was different. Once you drive it out, you will get a different license plate. And then this glitch is going to kind of be similar to those glitches that were working about a week ago, where you need to go ahead and obviously save this car, whether you save it with the MOC method, or if you don't have an MOC, use a CEO garage that has an empty slot. It's really important that the CEO garage has an empty slot in it, and that you also have the mechanic workshop. So you would drive the car into that garage 1, 2, or 3 in your CEO office, as long as there's an empty slot in that garage. And then also, as long as you have the custom shop, you would drive it in. You know, obviously once you drive in the garage, it's going to eject you out of the car. You get back in, hit right on the control pad, go ahead and modify the car, and just make one kind of modification to the license plate, whether it's the plate itself, the color, the location, and then just go ahead and drive it back out, and drive it back into your nightclub Garage 3 where you took it from. And then when you go back in there, you'll notice you'll have 1 extra elegy. So when I started off this glitch, I had 3 custom elegies in that garage, and then I just went ahead and saved it with the MOC method. Another easy thing I would say is try to prep this and make sure that you do not have a car in your MOC, just in case when you try to drive it in, it transfers another car into the garage and screws things up. So here I am heading back, thinking I got 1 or 2 more cars, hopefully, that I duped in this garage, because I switched them. And when you saw when I went to the service area, that those free elegies were now responding as the custom elegies, and the custom elegies were saying that they were you know, the same. So basically we ended up duping this one right here. I drove it back into Garage 3. Now you'll see I will have 4 custom elegies in here. When I started off, I only had 3. So I'm thinking, because I switched the other elegies, that I might possibly be able to dupe these. But what's going to happen is, if you go into one of those other elegies that you moved other than that first one, what's going to happen is the plate is not going to change when you drive out. So as soon as you end up leaving the garage, the glitch kind of screws itself up, and it'll reset your garage back to, you know, elegies will be elegies and custom elegies will be custom elegies. They won't show that they're duped again. So you're only able to dupe 1 car during this glitch, but you can do this very easily, and you can keep repeating it. So you see I jumped in that car, drove it out thinking that the plate was going to change. It is still the same plate, so that glitch is over. So at this point, what I'm going to go ahead and do is drive this back into the garage. Okay, I tried doing this again. This is another troubleshooting right here. Sometimes you will either get ejected from the garage or you will get on a permanent black screen. So what I did was, before I started this specific session here, I ended up going to my story mode, went to settings, and then I changed it so I'm in free aim. So if this happens again or another type of thing happens, I can go ahead and join a friend in a different targeting mode, and basically that's it. So that was just to show you it does not work all the time. Even though I do what I say, I make sure I'm moving up to the door as I accept the Martin message, and then when I'm about to leave the Martin message and I get that alert screen, I'll start hitting up, and then I'll go ahead and start spamming the A button and up at the same time. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it'll kick you out of the garage, sometimes it'll put you on a permanent black screen, and I guess we'll get into that because I do end up troubleshooting that. You can see right there, you hear the little tinks. You hear two distinctive. You hear a deeper tone, and then you hear the high pitch tone. Once that happens, you're pretty sure that you're going to end up getting this glitch to work. Spawn back in the garage. I have no mini-map, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same exact things. And, I'm going to go check out the plate on this one first, just to show you that this is, the same plate as I ended up getting when I left the garage during the last part of the glitch. So now I'm just going to go up to the service area. I'm going to switch the cars again. I'm going to go ahead and switch that first one right there with a free elegy. Okay, and you see how they both respond when they change. And then I'm trying to change the other custom elegies I have in here to RH8s to see if, I can possibly do 3 or 4 or 5 cars at the same time. But again, you can only do one at the same time. And it seems like it is that first car in that first slot that I'm walking over to. Although, if the first car you change is another one, it may also work. I would just say, to be safe, go ahead and put it in this slot right here and have a free elegy right next to it. Again, if you don't have custom elegies, you could put a Tesseract there. You could put whatever, any kind of supercar, street, sports car, if you don't have money. And then you could do this glitch, keep duping like a Tesseract, or, well, you can't keep duping them because you can only do it one time. But you could dupe like a Tesseract, take the money you make from that, go end up upgrading that free elegy, and then put it in the same slot, and keep repeating this. I've had plenty of people ask about this glitch the past couple of days, and since the other ones were patched, people looking for some money. I know the Oppressor MK2 came out today, and there's some other things that came out, so I know people are hurting for money. So I would suggest you jump on this and try and get as many of these dupes done as you possibly can. So here's the second one. So the first glitch, I had 3 cars in there. I ended up duping 1, so I had 4. I started off this one, I have 4 elegies in my garage, and then basically this one is going to be number 5. So it's the same steps. It's easiest for me with the MOC. I just go ahead and call the MOC. The plate changed as soon as I drove out of garage 3. Now, to save it, I'm just going to take this car and I'm going to go ahead and drive it back into my nightclub garage 3. And then I'm going to keep playing with this to see if maybe if I take this car and put it in another garage somewhere in the city, not the nightclub, can I go back in there, and those cars that I ended up switching with the free elegies, will those still be in there, and can I actually get dupes from those? But for right now, I can confirm you get 1 dupe each time you do this. It is sometimes of a hassle, sometimes it can be a hassle, but like I said, if you use the tips I used, it may not necessarily be effective, but for me it seems to be more effective when I get that job up on my phone and I kind of walk to the door, accept it, and then again, when you're about to leave that Martin job, like I said, once I get the alert screen to leave, I'll start hitting or spamming up on the control pad, and then spam the A button to accept the message, and then it usually puts you back in the garage as long as you hear those 2 distinct different tones of, the game recognizing that you're hitting the up button and selecting stuff. So here we go back again. I think this, I'm just going to go ahead and show you. I mean, obviously I have 5 cars now. I'm going to go ahead and get this set up again to do this dupe one more time. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I have my elegy in that first top spot in this first column on the left right there. I'm going to make sure that I have that red free elegy right next to it. It doesn't matter what color, but in those first 2 spots, I would just go ahead and say, have that very first spot be the custom elegy, and where that red one is, you want a free elegy, and you're going to basically swap those 2 cars off to the right in the corner, and everything you do after that I really don't think matters unless somebody comes up with a workaround to make sure that you can do 3, 4, or 5 cars in this same process right here. So again, like I said, I have more luck when I bring the phone up and I'm actually walking and moving toward the door. I don't know if that really matters a damn, but you notice every time that I do this glitch successfully, my character is still kind of moving as I'm accepting that alert. So here we go. I did what I did. I didn't really get the tones that I wanted, And then you'll see right now I am on a black loading screen. I've had this happen to me before where I had to restart the game and stuff like that. So what I did is ahead of time, I went in and switched to a different targeting mode. And all this will do is basically get you out of that permanent black loading screen. You'll see right here, I'm thinking, okay, great. I'm out of the permanent black loading screen. I don't have a mini map. Let me go ahead and start duping some cars. But you will notice two things. You're basically stuck inside this garage here. You don't have the service area. The light won't pop up, so you can't switch the cars around. So as of right now, you really haven't done anything as far as this glitch. Yeah, you glitch yourself out, but with the cars, nothing has happened. So, you know, these cars are not duped over right now. You're at the step where you can go ahead and do it. But from joining a different targeting mode, or finding a friend in a different targeting mode, accepting the first alert, and backing out of the second one, just gets rid of that permanent black loading screen, but it does nothing for this glitch. So you'll see right here, what you need to do is you end up going to I end up going to the door to see if I can just exit. You can't. The only way to get out of this, basically, to keep this glitch going so you can, you know, do this pretty quickly without leaving sessions or anything like that, is just go ahead and I get in that same car that I keep duping. I just drive it out and then drive it back in. And that's the only way that you can restart this. Once you end up exiting the garage, you will have your mini-map again. And then you just basically drive the car back in, park it in the spot, do the same thing. Come back up here to the ramp, bring up your job. Like I said, I like to be moving while I do it for some reason. It just works out for me so much better. And, you know, we'll go ahead and load into the Martin job. And then again, as soon as you load in, you can just hit the B button and you get this screen right here. I'm already hitting up, and then I'm hitting the A button, and I'm spamming both of them. And you see that's pretty quick. As long as you get those two tones, you spawn back in garage 3, no minimap. Now we're going to go ahead and do the last car. So now you see, if I'm not mistaken, I have 5. I started off this video with only 3. And then the first time I ended up getting the 4th car, came back in, I had 4 cars, and then duped the 5th. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and switch these cars around. At one point, I thought I was slick. I was like, let me go ahead and switch these cars around. So each one of my Elegy customs is swapped with a free Elegy, so it responds that the free Elegies are now Elegy customs. And then I thought maybe I could go ahead and walk out of the garage and then go to, like, I don't know, garage 4, or walk outside and come back in and see if they've all duped over. Which, again, on this part of the glitch here, you're not able to exit the garage on foot. So the only way to actually do this, and I'll show you, I verify it right here. I try to run up thinking, okay, damn, let me go ahead and see. I swapped those other cars around. Let me go ahead and exit. Now that the game's registering that those cars are actually all Elegy customs now, but you can't leave the garage. So the only way to do it is you would have to get back in that car, and you might be able to get back in any of the Elegies that you swapped with an RH8, but I'm just going to go ahead and keep using this first setup, these first 2 cars here. And you see the plate there. I'm going to drive this one out. Boom. Plate's changed. So that's about $1 million I just gained right there. And I'm going to go through the same steps. Now, in this video and some of the other glitch videos that I posted in the past couple weeks, you know, sometimes you're able to go ahead and call your MOC from inside the car and it'll pop up. Sometimes it'll be shaded out. Just exit the vehicle, call your MOC, and then repeat the steps. Get in the car, go drive it into the MOC. After you've done that, bring it back into garage 3, and that's pretty much done with that phase of the glitch. And then you would have to walk up the ramp, get your Martin job set up, and repeat everything again. So the troubleshooting for this one, to make things easier if you're having problems, because I actually tried for about 15 minutes straight before I could actually get it to work one time. Again though, I was reading some comments in some of the videos on Obese and Celestial's channel, and some people were saying that, you know, it works best if you have all 4 garages in your nightclub. And the only thing I can say is, for me, that's the only time it started to work. So, you know, maybe if I was patient, or maybe if I was getting the timing of spamming up on the control pad and A at the same time, you know, maybe I wouldn't have needed to get garage 4. I also, at the beginning of this video, I did jump into a CEO organization. I was trying it in a motorcycle club. It wasn't working for me, but then again, that was all before I bought garage 4 in the nightclub, and it's been working more frequently ever since then. And also, like I said, the troubleshooting, if you keep spawning outside with, you know, basically failing the glitch, like I said, I'll go ahead and bring up the Martin job. I'll kind of run up the ramp, and then I'll go ahead and select to join the Martin job as my character walks and gets chest to chest or chest to wall with the door to exit the nightclub. And then, like I said, once I actually get into the Martin job, I'll hit B immediately. I'll get the alert message, and then I'll already start hitting up. I hit up first, and then A, and I start spamming both of them at the same time. Hopefully that helps you guys out, because this could be huge for you people that are grinding to get some money to buy some of the new stuff. Leave some comments if you have any problems. I'll try and troubleshoot it with you if I can. But hopefully this works out for you. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys later.